Hey guys, welcome back to the build. It's early Monday morning. Really exciting, guys. The vote is in. Not by a surprise, by a pretty big margin. I think over 55% or 58% of you voted for the Premier 4509 GTR Limited kit. That's the one that we restarted the vote for. I assume that a lot of you that voted for the Varus kit, the Redox kit, would change over to that one, and I was right. The Redox is the one that had the largest decrease in votes, because I'm assuming that you all voted for the 4509 GTR kit. So awesome, guys. I wasn't expecting any other outcome. I mean, the kit is in my opinion one of the best looking kits I've seen on any body kit. Now, it is going to be a heap of work, guys. So I'm probably going to enlist the help of somebody that does body work. This body kit, everything on the car is different. The A-pillars, the trunk is different, the bumpers, the fenders, the door skins, everything about the car is different. There's nothing on the car that's used except for the roof. So it's going to be a ton of work, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think when it's done, I think whichever one of you wins this car, I think you're going to be winning car shows everywhere you go. I think it's just going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to turn out really, really good. We'll take our time, make sure it's done right, and all the door jams and all the seams are fit properly, and it looks the way it should. So very, very excited to build this. We all know that when I started the channel, I was expecting to get a new car. So I was expecting a new Camaro or Subaru or whatever, Z370Z, and do a wide body on that, or do some motor work to that. So the fact that it went an older car, you guys wanted an older car. I mean, the fact that it went to the Supra, and now we're doing this body kit is really exciting. I couldn't imagine it turning out better. Like, this is going to be really cool. The vote for the motor did surprise me a little bit. I thought that the majority of you guys would vote 2JZ single turbo, big power, and it's not the way the vote went. You guys voted 2JZ twin turbo. So faster spooling, it's going to get into power a little bit quicker, it's going to have a more linear power band throughout the RPM, but it's not going to make as much power as perhaps the single turbo would, which is fine. I think that you know, 600 or 700 horsepower wheel horsepower on the street is plenty of horsepower. I think that the fact that we can build the block, we can build the engine and the forged internals and all the valve train and everything to hold 1,000 or 1,200 horse, and then run it at 6 or 7 or 750 or whatever it comes out to be, I think is a really good way to build the motor. That's how I always built my motors, is I overbuild them and underdrive them. I would rather build something that can hold more power and more abuse, and not have to put it through that abuse, and know that it's going to be reliable, it's going to start every day, I don't have to fix it. Especially when you get into a build like this, guys. I don't want to give the car away to one of you guys wins it, and then you're always taking it to the shop and it's expensive to fix because all the parts in it are really expensive, and the whole motor is built and you got to find a specialty shop to work on it. I want you guys to be able to get in the car, start it every morning, drive it, and enjoy it. I want you to be able to take it to the car shows, win tons of awards with it, because I think it's going to win a lot of awards. I also want you to be able to take it to the track if that's what you want to do, and take a couple passes down the track or whatever. So very excited on the way it turned out. Twin turbo, 2JZ twin turbo is the way it's going to go. So like I said in previous videos, I've already got a 2JZ GTE basically bought. I have the guy sitting on it, so I will go down and get that picked out this week. If I can find time, it might be early next week, depending on how much time I can find to get down there this week. I'll probably start making some videos on that right away, tearing it down, you know, going over the engine, seeing what's what, send the block out for machining, get the head out and get that done. For the body kit, guys, when the vote closed yesterday, and the body kit won, I immediately emailed Veilside or Premier 4509, whichever you want to call it, because obviously they're in Japan, they're in a different time zone. So he did get back to me last night. He has sent me the invoice for it. I'm gonna get to the bank today at some point, get that money wired over to them so they can start building it. Now, they did say it's gonna take up to 60 days for them to ship it. So it's gonna take 8 weeks just for them to ship the kit. Then it comes into the port of BC. Then I've got to ship it from the port of BC to Ontario. So guys, we're probably looking like 10-12 weeks before we have the kit. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. I'll definitely give update videos on how it's coming along. They said that they'd keep me in the loop on how things, but every kit is made to order. Like I said before, there's only 100 being made. It's a limited production kit. They're made to order, and lots of carbon, lots of reinforced fiberglass panels. So it's going to take us, 2 or 3 months to get the kit. So I'll probably continue to drive the Supra around because the motor for it isn't in the car as well. So I'm going to be able to have the motor, work on the motor, send it out for machining without taking the motor out of the car. The kit's going to take 2 or 3 months to get here, which is plenty of time. So probably in like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I'll start tearing down the car. We'll start taking the interior out and get the motor out of it and the suspension and get it sent out for media blasting if that's what we're going to do, and clean it up and just kind of get it over to paint, see what we need to do as far as getting it prepped for the body kit. But very exciting, guys. You guys picked out, in my opinion, one of the absolute best body kits for any car. I think this rivals any body kit that I've seen from Liberty Walk. I'm not a big fan of the bolt-on look. I know a lot of people are, but that bolt-on kind of race look isn't for me. I definitely like the molded look. I like it to look like it was factory. It was meant to come from the factory like that. So I don't think you guys could have picked a better body kit. I think the body kit is going to be just phenomenal. It's definitely one of a kind. And the motor, like I said, when you guys go to car shows and you pop the hood and you got, 2 big chrome turbos or whatever, I think people are going to ooh and ah over it. It's definitely different than the single turbo, which is what most people go for. Just, it's cheaper to buy one turbo, it's cheaper to set up one turbo, and they can make more power. So I'm actually excited. Very close to I think the 2J was 50% of the vote, and then 22% of the vote was the single turbo 2J. And then at like 18-19% was the LS swap, guys. So the LS swap was there. It didn't make it, obviously, but it just goes to show there was people that wanted the LS swap. And in the comment section for other, I did have, I don't know, probably half a dozen or a dozen people comment on other motors. Everything from, an N54 BMW engine to a 4-rotor engine to an RB26. But the surprising one, guys, I had multiple times was a Cummins diesel. And now I'm not talking like it wasn't enough to compete with obviously the 100 people that voted for a twin turbo 2JZ. But interesting, guys, like a twin turbo 2J is not what I voted for. I voted for an LS swap, but I didn't expect anybody to say Cummins diesel. So it just goes to show that there's people out there that want to do something different. They don't want it to be the same as everybody else. So, but it's going. The body kit's going to be a Premier 4509 GTR limited kit with a twin turbo 2JZ. So it's going to be a cool car. Some things you guys want to start thinking about. One, you guys want to start thinking about the color. Start leaving comments down below on what kind of color palette you're going to look for. So I think probably the way we're going to do it, the guys over at Paintworks, just amazing work, good friends of mine. They're going to be the ones painting the car. So I think once we pick a color palette, being you're going to pick a white or a gray or a red or whatever color it's going to be, Derek is going to do a spray out of probably 4 or 6 different options in white or in red. One might have a pearl, one might be more flat or brighter. I'm not too sure. I'm not a paint guy, guys. But once you guys pick the color, Derek's going to do a spray out of a couple different samples on a couple different options in that color. So if you guys pick white, he might do a pearl white. He might do, a matte white. He might do a Mercedes-Benz bright white. I'm not too sure. And then we'll pick from that one there. So think about what kind of color you want for the car, guys, because that's going to be an important one. And again, with color, I mean, there's a million options. So I mean, definitely leave the comments, because we go off your comments. Leave the comments down below on what color you want. We're going to pick from that. Second thing to start thinking of is kind of what kind of suspension you guys want under it. Now, I'm not too sure. I've had a couple people that I've been talking to that I've seen at the car shows and stuff talk about bagging it, like putting it on airbags, because when you're at a car show, that kind of body kit, you're definitely going to want to lower it. You know, you want it to have that stance where people are like, wow, this thing's just, everything is perfect. But if you're driving it, you obviously want to raise it up. You don't want to be hitting potholes or hitting little divots in the road and scraping that skirt kit or scraping the paint. So I'm not sure if you guys want a static suspension or if you guys want on airbags. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. That's going to be another one. So down the road, I mean, we got lots of time, guys. There's no huge rush, but I mean, interior is going to be something that we're going to be thinking about. I'm not sure if you guys want, you know, a luxurious interior, all like a hand stitched seats that have, you know, I mean, diamond stitching in it and look like a Bentley, because the car is high end, and you know, I mean, it could look like a luxury car. Or if you guys want like buckets, you know, some Brides or some Sparco buckets in it with just the door panels done and the headliner and the back seats, that's going to be another bunch of votes for all kinds of things, from the color of the carpet to what you want to do to the door skins to what you want to do to the seats. So still lots of votes to go, guys. Transmission's going to be way down the line. Now, the reason the transmission is going to be way down the line, guys, is budget. So probably the most likely is going to be a 6-speed, because you guys already said that you wanted a standard transmission. It's got a 5-speed in it now. We're obviously going to put a 6-speed in it. The 6-speed that comes out of the Toyota Supra, the Turbo Supra, is like 10 grand in Canada if you can find them, and they're very hard to find. And if you blow a synchro or something goes in the transmission, you can't find parts for it. So what most people do is they put a Tremec T56 6-speed in it. They buy the bell housing adapter and they put a T56, which is obviously a much more affordable option, but depending on where the budget goes. And I say that because I've had a lot of people reaching out, offering things for the build to be part of the build. Hence, the body kit from Veilside gave us a phenomenal deal on it. I've got rim companies that want to sponsor the build and sponsor rims. So with that being said, there might be more money left in the budget, and we might be able to put something cool in, like a 6-speed sequential. Might be an option, guys. I mean, again, it's expensive, but it'll hold big power, easy to shift with your left hand, and a cool factor. Now, I'm not saying you guys want that. Maybe you just want a regular old 6-speed, like the T56, which is fine. But the transmission will probably be further down the road on what we're building for a transmission for it. Brakes and rotors, I mean, another, you know, the suspension is one thing. Brakes and rotors, stuff like that, calipers are another vote. Half of you want the original Supra brakes because it says Supra on them and they're kind of iconic to the car. I mean, the rest of you are saying no, put like some Brembos or Willwards or AP Racing or something cool on there. Again, whatever you guys want, we'll put on the car, but that's going to be a little bit further down the road. I think we're going to be pretty tied up. Once the car starts coming apart, there's going to be probably an upload just about every day. We'll be working on the car pretty steadily. It's going to take a lot of time. So there's going to be lots of progress on it day to day, what we're taking apart, what we're doing to it when the body kit gets here. The motor, once the motor gets here, we'll be voting on certain things for the motor. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are going to want to go forged internals. You guys want to go forged internals, you know, there'll be a couple options you can vote on. But once you vote on the internals, I'm probably just going to match the valve train with whatever's suggested for the internals. So again, if you guys pick a Brian Crower kit like short block, crank, rods, pistons, stuff like that, and they say, well, these are the camshafts that are suggested to that, I'm probably going to run those camshafts just for the fact of reliability. I don't want you guys out breaking down in it. I want it nice and reliable. I want you guys to have some fun with it. And after someone wins it, when you guys wins it, I definitely hope that I see it at car shows. I go to a lot of car shows. I go to car shows in the States and stuff like that. So I hope I see it in some of the car shows. That would be awesome. So if you're new to the channel, guys, we're building a 1997 Toyota Supra. It's being built strictly on the votes of you guys, the subscribers. There's already been a handful of votes, and we ended up voting that it's going to go wide body, and it's going to go with a Premier 4509 Limited GTR body kit. A very, very cool body kit, guys. It's made by Veilside. It's the high-end Veilside stuff. Very, very cool. And the vote for the motor's already gone as well, and we're going twin turbo 2JZ GTE. So I'm going to go down and get that engine. You'll start seeing videos on the tear down of the engine and stuff like that. So that's an update, guys. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, because it's one of the subscribers that's going to win. Find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter, all that stuff. Follow the build. Leave your comments. We love reading your comments. And I'll keep you updated as far as when the kit's going to be here, when we go down and pick up the motor, and different things like that. Maybe I'll try and get out this week in the car, make some more videos of driving around in the car, and we'll get tearing it down, guys.